White woman jump scare.
White woman spotted. Forgot I'm in the real world. It says white woman spotted in McDonald's.
We have to share that. We have to fucking share that in case people don't know what that is.
Oh my god, it's a green text. Sorry, everyone.
Yep.
Some sins can never be forgiven, but it's one of the great all-time green texts. That and the Shrimps Kid. Hello, everyone. Hello, Lulu. Hey, Megan. Hey, Chicago. Oh wait, Halimede is here.
Oh shit! Hi. Oh.
Oh, we were just talking about you, Halimede.
We're so excited.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here.
We're very excited to have you here. Yeah, walk into Subway by myself, forget I'm in real life, see white woman, audibly say, white woman spotted.
Where was he saying that normally?
Yeah, probably in
Like
his horrible white supremacist discords.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was like, are you saying this in Call of Duty? Are you saying this in
Oh. All right. So I think we gotta go. I'm excited to be here as long as you have good opinions and are funny. That's debatable, but
we're trying, but we're here to learn. You know, you are the good opinion haver, Halimede, so you can grace us with that.
So
Number one discourser.
So let's jump right into that. For anyone who doesn't know, yeah, Halimede is a Twitter user with good opinions that posts on the internet. Let's bring up the one that got Twitter a twitting.
The one we all love.
The one we all love. T for T is like incest. It probably would happen if two sisters were stuck alone in an attic for 25 years, and it wouldn't be good or okay. But the victims deserve pity, not anger, and treatment, obviously.
VC Andrews, ghostwriter, get on this and write Flowers in the Attic transbian version.
What we saw, yeah, I definitely did see someone in the Discord who I will let name themselves say who wants to get in an attic with me. Which fucking mood.
And there was only one bed in the attic. This is the real fan fiction shit from way back.
So Halimede, I'm curious how this has gone for you, because this really blew up. Did you and it sounded like you're saying that people were trying to cancel you. And they were attic mates. But you will never you always expected to get a little attention. That's fair. 4 years.
Wow. Now that's a poster. That's when, like, Joe and Tom talk about somebody just in the posting mines, practicing their craft, preparing.
Well, you couldn't change the way that you post because the way you post is correct. Do you know why this came up? Like, did you retweet this? Like, is that why it? I do not this not for anything like fame or adoration, but for the love of trans women.
Oh my god. You're a white knight. I don't know what the equivalent of that is, but
yeah, just yep. Just absolutely
I really like the one, why are trans girls always like traumatized for other reasons? You'd think just being trans would be enough. That's a really good one.
Yeah, it's hard. I was gonna like find some classic ones, but they're all so good. I couldn't. Um. Uh. I really like the post that said you shouldn't call trans men are not what's trans you shouldn't call trans men trans because they're just men, but
Oh, I think
trans women like the attention.
that's good. I might retweet that one.
Oh,
Somebody will
oh,
somebody will
I
be in
d-
my inbox
I
about it, but
definitely accidentally just searched Twitter for trans men, and we got a little bit of trans boy pussy on the stream for a second.
woo!
So
Let's
don't
hear
clip
it for
that.
trans boy pussy.
Don't tweet that.
Yet another jump scare
Oh,
here.
good. We weren't actually we weren't sharing screen, so it's okay.
Okay, good. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just on my fucking Grimes subreddit, which is also a white woman jump scare.
Yeah. Uh I have
Halamid,
been
I've been
accused of
accused
overlooking trans men, but actually men are just men. It's rude to call one trans even if he is, unlike women who naturally love attention.
you're so right for this.
You're so
You're
right
so
for
right.
this.
And
Uh,
and and they some of the boys need to hear that. But oh, and she did say, "Not a white knight. I may be white, but I've always seen myself as more of a princess." Of course.
oh,
Of course.
yes.
You're
You're
a noble woman.
and you're very vocally not a top. that's the
Of
that
course not.
that's the trans woman's job. Um
Oh
we
god.
were built for that. Uh Yep. Why are trans girls always like traumatized for other reasons? You'd think just being trans would be enough. This is the one that is so especially when I first found this account and did not fully understand how good of a poster. Guess who went through all of her Truvada again without telling me? Like she has the decency to be ashamed. I'm not going to stop paying for her healthcare, but I wish she valued her life more. Oh,
Oh my
oh,
god.
ugh.
Oh, this is god tier,
It's-
chaser behavior.
Trans women, how do you do it? How are you so brave? I'm going through a hard time right now, and I need a little advice from some beautiful, damaged girls, from some lovely she females.
Oh my
Oh.
god. Oh, it's so good. Halimede, are you the type that, like, when you're with a trans girl, like, you're telling her, like, "You're such a beautiful creature. All my life, I fantasized that someone like you existed." Um, that kinda thing? Do you bring that out?
Oh my god, that reminds me. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Because I'm very curious, Halamine, how you feel about this. Uh, hopefully I can find it.
Oh, okay, she says, "I didn't find out about all this until I was in my teens." Okay. Who was your root?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find that out in the game, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong. This is the wrong account. Yeah, I can't find it, but there was a tweet from a trans woman on here that was saying one time I was fucking a cis woman, and just as she was about to come, she yelled, "Yes, queen!"
Oh my god.
And she's like, and to
So
my credit, I stayed hard and kept going.
that really is brave.
Yeah. So I was curious your take on that, Halamy. If you want to salute that brave trans woman.
Cat hair everywhere. Lulu Finks shared another favorite. Okay, so regarding recent statements, I don't want to hurt trans girls. I am not a top. But I think that it's beautiful that a bee with a stinger can become such beautiful
Beautiful butterflies.
butterflies. Oh.
Saw that one, an embarrassment. We should strive to do better on cis women's part, of course. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say on the C word women's part.
Yeah, we
Oh,
need a beeper. We don't have like a censor
oh, that's so
button.
true. That is so true. Um, oh,
KPK, we're being joined by a live oracle, the
yes,
only respecter of trans women in the game, honestly.
you would not say this. Oh God.
Oh my lord. Halamede, have you seen the famous Anna Valen's uh pussy carousel tweet?
What? I haven't
Do you
heard
know about
this.
that one? Oh my god, let me pull it up. It's been very deleted because Anna got super canceled for it because, you know, God forbid women do anything. Um, oh, let me see if I can find it. The year is 2028. The Soviets of America have emerged, run by groups of 12 to 14 trans women who all initiate breeding facilities where we high five each other while spit roasting cis women. We call it the wet pussy carousel, now with less respectability politics.
God forbid. God forbid women do anything.
So, I'm curious your thoughts on that vision of the future, Halamede. If you want to be on the wet pussy carousel, um, I,
Oh, that sounds like a lot.
it is a lot.
I think we would certainly be a lot safer than we are now.
That's so
Oh,
true. That's so true. Utopia is incremental, you know. We
right.
start with the pussy carousel,
I don't
and
think we
who
start
knows
with
what
the
happens.
pussycat carousel. We got to start slower than that. Oh my
Well, first
god.
we need to hydrate,
Yeah.
but then we can
We
move into
need
that.
to get our pussies wetter. A step in a less
Yes.
transphobic direction, certainly. Yes.
Mm,
Oh my
yes.
god.
Oh,
Um,
lemon party pussy carousel. Sure.
there's
Why
the
not?
yeah. There's a lot of good, a good of good tweets. Uh, she loves your little hands, although if they were bigger, she would love those too. And your small HRT tits. She loves you for your size 10 women's and boxy frame. Do not mistake anything for this feeling. You are beautiful as you are meant to be.
Oh, it's still sharing the Grime subreddit. I just stopped sharing, um,
Oh shoot.
just so you know. But yeah, on the feed, it's just so now it's just stars.
There we go. Sorry about that.
There we
Our technology is not good enough to show all this.
this wisdom. We had to
Trans
make
women
sure the chat was ready.
trans women have it so hard. Having it hard there. That must just be the worst thing imaginable. That must be so bad and wrong.
Oh my god. So you've been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah, really good.
A lot of these old self reblogs have like 10 likes.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of the Anime Sickos like bit about the like monk poster in the mountains that's just honing their craft for
It's
years and years.
literally Fiorello,
Yeah.
very much
Yeah.
like him.
Thank you so much for blessing us. I'm so glad that more people know your beautiful beautiful ways. Um and I'm also really excited to play this game in a bit here
Yes.
because it sounds so up my alley. We played We Know the Devil and really enjoyed it. And I'm a great lover of mechs, so
Yeah, this is gonna check off a lot of our boxes, and it'll be great to hear, from Hallie Mead's perspective
yep.
on her side of things. She said, "I hope for a wider audience, of course, all the better to support trans women with. But I knew that if I were ever to acquire one, I would need a resume and a background. So I hunkered down and set to it." Oh my
It's
god.
just like effective altruism, but for anti-transphobia. I just need so much posters clout, and so I can redistribute it to the trans women.
Oh my god. Oh, we just got a dump truck redeem. Lulu says, Halimede needs to see the boy.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't, dump truck is not a trans woman, so I don't know how much
You don't know
he'll
that.
mean anything to her. Well, that's true. I don't
I don't
know. He
know.
could be. Um, I'll be right back. I'll get him.
Yeah, he recently learned how to self-snuck. This is apparently a normal thing for chinchillas, to be able to self-snuck, but it took Dump Truck quite a long time. I think he's like 3 or 4. Devin will say, but yeah, he's he's
He's 8.
he's 8.
He's 8 in October. He's a Libra. This is him.
Oh, what a good boy!
This is the face of pure demented Libra-ness.
And you denied him his wheel last night, is what you were telling me before stream. He was
Yeah, I
being too
locked him.
annoying. Ugh.
He was running on his wheel, his quiet wheel that sounds like a small washing machine. Um, too loud. So I cask of Amontillado him in his basement.
You've made your preferences very clear. We don't know his gender identity though.
That's true. Yeah, Halimi, do you think an animal can be a trans woman?
His little big ears.
Yes.
Force fem. Force fem dunk truck.
Him with like little nails.
He does have a fat ass already. He's already
Yeah,
got.
yeah,
That's the titular dump truck.
yeah. I think E would do wonders for him. Halimede says trans women are the most human people I have ever known. Great answer.
Great answer. Great answer. Oh. Pretty clear that a trans woman can be an animal if she wants to. Yes, let's not be transphobic here. Trans women can be
Yes.
whatever we want.
Yes. In that direction, absolutely. A trans woman can be an animal. I don't know if an animal can be a trans woman. Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, Halimede, you're such a woman respecter. It's crazy.
it's really important. It's really important. Are you on Tumblr? You should be on Tumblr.
Oh. Oh, there's some girls I could set you up with on Tumblr, Halimede. I have one in particular that if you're down to being in a polycule, I think I know a girl who would just
Yeah.
love your whole outlook on life.
Was that the friend that you were gonna bring up today? Your Blorbo
No.
of the week?
Oh, the horse pussy? No.
Okay. Let's talk briefly about that person, because you just sort of said this to me, and I don't know. You said that you had a friend that you needed to oh shoot,
Oh my god.
Dump Truck has been so small this whole time. I'm sorry, chat.
Oh yeah. Hold on, it's hard to type with one hand, the horse pussy dot Tumblr.
Here, I can bring it up. I'll bring it up.
I thought it was the horse pussy with 2 T's, but that's not working. Let's see.
Wait, horse pussy with 2 T's? Where are the T's?
Or I'm sorry. I thought it was the horse pussy with 2 E's, but that's not coming up right now. Hold on, let me see. Let me
Horse
put the boy
pussy.
away.
Okay, I think I got it. Horse pussy galore. Horse pussy galore. Everybody say goodbye to Dump Truck. He wants to hear all the sounds so loudly. He does.
Yeah, he
he
doesn't
listen
like a lot of music.
he hears all of our shows and he judges us for every single one of them.
Yeah. I hope this is the actual person.
Flogging a dead horse pussy is what it says.
So this guy, so first of all, Halimede, I'm sorry to put, yeah, this is the guy, to put a man in your presence. I, I hate that. You shouldn't have to do that. But longtime fans of the show, or 2 week fans of the show, will know my obsession with Context Machine, the late great poster who became bisexual from COVID and then died in real life,
And cured
and I
is autism also.
with long COVID, which was probably some kind of brain problem related to his death. But since then, I've been casting about looking for another kind of strange old man that I can look up to. And that is when my friend Charlie introduced me to longtime Tumblr poster, The Horse Pussy. Um,
Yeah. Hello. Question: is your name the horse pussy or e horse pussy, like e girl but a horse? This is very important. I have to know. The horse pussy because it sounds fancy or biblical or some shit.
and that's his actual face, Saint Horsepuss.
Helmete says, I'm not a man hater. Men are fine or not fine on an individual basis. I can see a man. I am strong enough to not be hurt by this.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh,
Uh, uh,
that's as it should be. We should all be so strong.
yes, let's all be so strong together as we look at this man.
As we
Phantom of the Paradise, which is an amazing movie.
Very
Um,
good shit. Uh,
Goth era HP. Can you see this, Devin? By the way.
yes, I can.
Okay, good. Yeah. So tell us about this man.
I'm trying to pull up some of my favorite posts of his that I've already reblogged since discovering him 2 days ago. He's gay, so that's different versus context having been. He's like non-evil Context Machine or something. Like he's a man of the people. He's a working class hero. Um,
I saw
he-
a little bit of this sausage and I didn't scroll down on stream because I was a little afraid. But no, that's just a tattooed sausage. That
yeah. Oh my
okay.
god. Okay, here's a good one. I'm trying to think how to best screen share this. Copy link. I'm gonna put it in the Grimes thing because then if I show it, I think it'll
Yeah, you just removed your
share.
camera, so I think it
Okay,
should just come back.
yeah, I think it should be this one. Yeah, this is a really good one. Uh, I missed the low res camera clipped to the top of my laptop. These are the kinds of pics I'd use to score dope and dick dates on Craigslist. Wouldn't you jump at the chance to party with me?
That's such a good picture. Oh my god, I want us to do a show using that camera.
I would like that very much.
But it's not just the camera, it's the horrible lighting in that room. Like clearly that room has like one lamp on the other side of the room.
It just smells like the room that I was like renting in Columbus in like 2008.
Yeah.
Like the no decor, the like landlord beige,
Oh
the
yeah.
couch, everything about it just speaks to that era and like how, we were not taking care of ourselves back then at all.
Yeah,
Um,
I know it smell crazy in there.
Here's a recent one. Somebody just said hot, hot daddy, and he said a little Mylanta to cool it down.
This man is too cool for Tumblr. He's so good.
Yes. He has one showing off his gay voice, um, but it won't because Tumblr's broken and videos don't work on desktop. I
Oh my
can't
god.
show it. But here's the ask. Do you, and if so, how do you deal with gay voice? I feel like mine makes everybody hate me. And he had a video here, which on mobile you can see. My voice changes all the time. Sometimes it's gravelly because of smoking for 30 years. Right now, it's kind of hoarse because I think I got the COVID. I'm gonna lose another one, another king.
Yeah.
But my customer service voice is gayer than a highway rest area. Try smoking menthols.
Oh. We got a pretty good
Uh,
from Halamede. I think that's pretty high praise.
yes. Um, yeah, this guy is great. He posts just, like, a lot of really cursed photos of himself, a lot of gay shit, a lot of, like, really weird aesthetic photos. Oh, I think I see the sausage one that you were
Yeah.
worried about. It's not a dick, it is just a sausage that's been
Yes,
tattooed on.
I did show it. I did show it. I just went to off. I stopped sharing to look at it fully before I like showed it.
Another one of his is Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the biggest gay
Oh
icons of all
no.
time.
No. Oh.
Fellow Ohio State, student like myself, so I'm gonna say
Oh
yes.
really? Oh, that's
Mhm.
right. Yeah, that's right. Because not to reveal too much backstory, but I'm pretty sure my when did that happen? I'm pretty sure my Megan's parents were going to school there when it happened. Because wasn't it like the 80s or the 90s?
70s?
Oh, it was the
Yeah, like
70s.
late I thought 70s into 80s,
Yeah,
is my
yeah.
understanding. Yeah, um,
If smoking is so bad, why is it so cool? It's really true.
I know. I was
So
just watching Thank You for Smoking last night. That one's aged weirdly.
public masturbation bingo. Uh, public restroom, being caught on the street, nature, leave cum in clearly visible place, undress completely. Does it show his results?
Uh, oh, did he let's see, did he say whether he got a bingo or not? Oh, he adds a few. So we can look at this and then we'll add
So
his.
we can assume that he's done all of these.
Yeah,
uh,
and then he
undr-
can get an additional square.
undressed completely, public transport, hallway, apartment, house, workplace, etc. Sitting right next to someone while someone is visiting you. Take a walk with your dick out while visiting someone in front of an open window, elevator, in a pool, in water, pool, ocean, parking lot, many people around, photo booth, under the table, piss plus cum, in public except for restroom, under a bridge, balcony, rooftop, laying down, construction side, in a shop. And then bonus using toys with someone while it rains. While it rains is a vibe. In the cold slash winter, plus pics are vids. Uh oh.
And then the horse pussy
Uh,
bonus.
oh
At a
my
funeral, Chick-fil-A drive-through, on a carnival ride,
god.
at the January 6th insurrection, at a shit farewell tour
I can
concert.
imagine this guy like going to a fucking like I doubt he's like conservative, but going to a fucking Trump rally to like hook up to find all the horrible DL fucking straights.
He's
Oh.
definitely like, my friend Mel has a FetLife mutual who's like this old man who like travels across the country, just looking for trucker cum blasts, which is a time honored tradition.
Right.
And I think the horse pussy like probably knows those days and is helping keep that grand tradition alive.
Did you know
Um,
that whenever anybody talks about truckers, they say 10-4, good buddy. Um,
mhm,
10-4 meaning, affirmative, which is like that's like a radio thing. But good
mhm.
buddy in trucker slang basically means like faggot. Like it basically means like fellow, like it's trucker slang for hey, are you a good buddy? It's like, are you a friend of, what was that, friend of Susan or whatever, that
Friend of Dorothy.
friend of Dorothy. Yeah, good buddy is somebody else who's down to blast your hole in the fucking truck stop restroom.
Oh my god, I did not know that that was an element of cruising. I'm reading a history of cruising right now, so I wonder when if it'll get to trucker cum
God, I hope
blast
so.
shit.
This guy reminds me of fuck. Uh Pencil Mustache Man. Um Oh my
John
god.
Waters.
Yes. Yeah, not he's a very different sort of like physical like John Waters is a bottom, and I think this guy's maybe a top, or like he's got a little more toppy energy. Like it's a very different energy, but it's also that
Mhm.
like just reveling in the filth, as John Waters says. Um
They're working class heroes, and that's the big
yes.
difference between them and Context, who's like a trust fund Ivy League baby. Like, the horse pussy is someone that, like, he could have been my neighbor, you know? Um, this is my brother, this is my uncle, this is
Yeah.
my shop teacher, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, he definitely has verse energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Not yep. Yeah. Whether
big
he is
verse
a
energy.
top, he definitely tops.
Yes. I just wanted, before I forget, highlight in the chat, it's Farrar said, "I think there's a lot of dignity in being cum blasted by someone you find truly reprehensible." And Halamid said, "I agree.
Yeah.
I
Also,
think true dignity is something that you can have in any circumstance, that you can hold on that can be held in any circumstance."
yeah. Hey, people don't get to choose to be born with a trust fund or not.
That's true.
The Argyle, if they don't have
But
a big Billy Mouth on their bass on their bookshelves, don't fuck them.
that's the John Waters horse pussy, yeah.
I want to see them fuck. They would fuck for days, and there would be no survivors.
Oh my god. Okay, last horse pussy. Why do you seem like you always are at a different job? What happens? You quit or get fired? First of all, that's just the life, man.
Yeah. How do you ask that? Like I'm so removed from being a person who would have to ask that question.
Yeah. um, the horse pussy responds, "I've only had maybe 7 or 8 jobs in my life, only been fired once. I tell a lot of stories, but they are all out of sequence, so maybe why the confusion. I used to work part-time at Target because I needed a part-time job to qualify for Medicaid. Now I'm getting booted off because I have a real job and have to pay for insurance." And then he has some facts about Target, I think, in the oh yeah, every Target freezer is full of Healthy Choice brand TV dinners. White trash don't buy that shit, so it piles up. Target shoppers only want Jimmy Dean sausage biscuits and ham cheese hot pockets and New York bread knots.
Oh,
Oh,
he's very different from my my Meyer dairy section stalker um hookup that I met him because I was a fucking had no life style. And so I always shopped at night at Meyer because that's when I was alive. And he's the guy that he always had I think his Eye of Horus, the fucking Egyptian symbol, fucking drawn on with uh, eyeliner on, and he would always he was uh of chasers, he
oh.
was one of them, and he had like a harem of trans women, I think. And his
But this
name,
was the guy who treated you right, right? Like he
oh
was,
yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
that's right, because I talked about him when we had the other Devin Price on, because he had HIV. He was HIV positive, but was very. I really appreciated how he like brought it up, and like uh how he talked to me about it. But oh yeah, there's another Dr. Devin Price, who is also a social
A
psychologist,
social
right?
psychologist, yeah, and she's a sexual health researcher, and we had her on an earlier episode, so that's on YouTube if you wanna see, and we're besties now. I was just texting her this morning, so yeah.
Yeah.
Purely because she used to get some of my emails. That's how we know each other.
Oh,
But anyway, yeah, Meyer chaser and his uh, T-girl carousel.
yeah. There's just a lot of beautiful people in the world.
He, he definitely came to mind when I was looking at the horse pussy as well. That it was like the horse pussy is gay, so he's not really a chaser, but like he has that kind of like chaser, like he's just down.
Yeah. Glad he's out
You're
there.
gonna
Yep.
Glad he's
That guy also, to add to it, also was what's the word I'm looking, otherkin. He literally in all ways but physical identified as a wolf. Uh, made really good
Ooh,
growling noises.
I
Uh,
know that did go crazy.
it did. It really did. Oh, all
Oh,
right.
God. Um,
Well, is there so that was the end of the horse pussy.
yes. Yeah, I mean, I think we could transition into light between, Halimede and Horse Pussy, we could transition into light chaser discourse,
Yes.
if we want right now, since that just kinda came up. Or piss course,
Yeah, that's
excuse
true.
me.
Piss course. Um yeah, did you I have a lot of thoughts about it. I'm curious, like, did you have kind of a place you wanted to start with it, or um
Not necessarily a starting place. It's certainly a thing that, like, comes up a lot and that that trans people use as, like, a warning sign sometimes, like, "Oh, don't get with this person, that person's a chaser," or whatever. I think you and I both have a little bit more forgiving views, or at least it's not deal breaker
mhm.
bad to call someone a chaser.
Yeah.
Um
I think it's so much more about respecting it's the actual person, and not having present company excluded. You're exempt from all of this.
Yes.
Not having like expectations about what, like, people will want to do with their bodies, right? Like, and being overly informed by porn. I think the reason that I'm closer to a chaser apologist is and this is a weird thing that I think a lot of trans people, like a lot of trans women specifically, probably also have this experience of, like, I mean, I learned about trans people through porn, like, myself. So I understand
Mhm,
when other people also are coming at it from that experience. And I think that a lot of, I didn't put that on somebody before I, like, learned more about it from that. But um yeah, I it there's this weird question of, like, is it okay to have genital preferences? And
mhm.
as as Halmead has said, I is it okay to have genital preferences that are non anti-transphobic, so to speak?
Right, to prefer a trans, embodiment,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think it's I just I just don't think you can put rules on sexuality in any way. You can only kind of put, like, not put expectations on people. And I think it can be damaging to there it does seem like there's this kind of discourse where it's like chasers are all really bad, which I don't blame any trans women for having, because I think a lot of trans women have had really bad experiences, and there's a lot of really weird people out there. Um, People that are weird to trans women. Um, but also, if somebody would have sex with a trans woman, and all they hear is that they're a gross chaser, like, I don't think it's helpful.
Mhm.
Yes, I wish people wouldn't say, thank you. This is the tweet I was referring to. I wish people wouldn't say genital preference is transphobic. In fact, I have genital preferences that could be described as the very opposite of transphobic. Oh. Trans people really
Um,
want to be desired enough to shut people down, and they should be. And of course, so many of my kind are regrettably total creeps. We're glad you're out
yeah,
here doing it right.
yeah, you understand where people are coming from for having those feelings, and being straight up about what it is that you want and how you want to relate to the trans women you admire, Halimede, is very different, I think, from a certain kind of cis girl chaser type where it's just assumed and then pressure is like brought on to a
Yeah.
partner, which is something that I've heard a lot of people have really traumatic experiences with, like, and that's really real shit. And a lot of those people don't even necessarily think of themselves as chasers. And maybe if they did, it would actually be better, right? If they could articulate
Yeah.
exactly what they want and that they expect a partner to like top with, that would be better than just assuming, oh, because your body is this way, you're gonna do that,
Right.
um, and pressuring people and stuff.
Uh, some space also gets tangled up in like how trans people feel about their own transness. E.g., some trans folks are actively upset by the idea of a person being actively into their transness. Yep. Yeah, and I think that that's actually why I partly why I have the feelings I do, and why I feel like I have to um hedge how like my discussions of it, because I think that's totally valid. Um and I absolutely respect that. But also that's all, I mean, to be frank, that's not like the opposite of how I feel. I would much rather be like, and this is uh, a weird thing, but I'd rather people be like, I think they're that, best of both worlds and shit like that can be really fucking problematic. But it's also like, I mean, I'd rather be seen as like better, like, the best, the most exciting kind of woman, rather than like not living up to. And it's like, I understand. I mean, that's obviously a false dichotomy, and I understand why people wouldn't just want to be found attractive as a woman in general. Um, but
Yeah. Yeah, there's layers to this, Your Honor. I
yes,
think to people mentioning in the chat like how it can be kind of dysphoric to only be wanted for your transness. I mean, I really felt that way about T-boy night at Steamworks for a while, that it was like, oh, like, because it's a 3-floor sauna, and if there's enough people on T-boy night, like all the trans guys' lockers are put together and their rooms are put together. And that made me feel really gross. It's like, ew, you're like putting us all in like one place for the people who are like shopping for that.
yeah,
Um, but the other way of seeing that is, oh, a lot of these guys are a little bit uncomfortable being in this space and they want to be around other trans people, and maybe they want to hook up with other trans people. And like, once I did like hook up with a few trans guys in that context myself, I felt a little bit less self-conscious about it. Um, but there still is, sometimes that feeling of like, oh, or someone on like apps or something, like if you're only looking for a certain category of person, like you better know how to act right. You better, again, like Halimede, be like really rolling out the red carpet. Um, I think it's Alice. Is it Alice Azantium? The podcaster. She had a really good post about how, for her, female chasers were always like, this is the thing I was talking about earlier. You're the most beautiful creature. You're a literal angel. I've fantasized about you all my life, and I can't believe you're real. And then, in her experience, male chasers were like, can you put on this wig and pretend you're my daughter?
yeah. Uh, I think about Julia Serrano's justification a lot. I paused for a second to consider the question. Then I replied that it is almost always their eyes. When I look into them, I see both endless strength and inconsolable sadness. I used to feel uncomfortable to be seen as desirable as a trans woman until I realized that I do like a lot of things that other trans women have, even if I understand it's complicated and can be dysphoric at times. Want to be fully who I am. Idea of specific woman that will never live up to the circumstances, says Vitcher Link. Yeah, yeah. Um, I think, uh, to be completely honest, I think clockiness is hot as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of a separate conversation, but yep,
Clockiness is next to godliness.
yeah.
That's
Halmy,
fact.
what do you think about trans men hooking up with each other? Is that also incest? I think it's been easier for me to identify people fetishizing me for my transness than it has been for me to identify people fetishizing me for being fat. Yeah, that's something I
The
can't speak to.
the parallels there, and Photo brought this up in the chat too, of and Photo kind of said in the chat that like in fat liberation spaces everybody hates chasers, but then in like BBW world, you
Yeah,
know, chasers are like welcomed. um and and Photo and I have talked about this before, and this is something I've heard other people express too. There's like this weird fracture line that is similar to what I see trans people talking about, where some people are just so put off by the idea of somebody being a chaser that they want nothing to do with them. But it also can kind of link back to this belief system of like, if someone is attracted to your kind of body, there must be something off about that or sinister about that. And that's a weird idea. Like that's
yeah,
rooted in, you know, thin supremacy, right? Um, but when it comes down to interacting with one person and figuring out, are they going to treat me respectfully, or are they going to be ashamed to be out with me in public? Like it's hard to gauge, right? Like as much as those
yeah,
two things are still true. Um, so yeah, I think there are a lot of parallels. I've certainly heard cis fat women that I know mention that they hear parallels in what they've heard trans women describe, and vice versa. And then people I know that are in both those communities kind of talk about that a lot. Um, an acquaintance of mine, Franz on Tumblr, you know, she's a fat trans woman and reblogs a lot of like feeder fetish stuff and finds that really empowering. But other people find that stuff super duper triggering, um, for understandable reasons. But
yeah,
that, but that doesn't mean that it's like evil. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Um, Halmeet says about trans men having sex with each other. What? That's just gay guys. What would be wrong with that? Trans men are just men, as you know.
this is the kind of othering that we need to see.
Both the world and the trans woman herself define her by her transness. She longs to shed it and escape as a means of escaping transphobia. But happiness can only be hers if she loves herself. And how is she supposed to do that unless she is first loved?
Which is where you come in,
Which
right?
is where you
Halamede, you
come
have
in. I think that there needs to be a nationalized Halamede system. All trans women.
get a Halamede.
Yes. Does anybody have the link to that fucking guy in the cowboy hat chaser video? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I don't think
Hi.
I know this.
Um.
I can't believe there's some lore that I've missed.
I know. I've been okay. Yeah. Here we go. I found an article about it. Let's see if yes. Is this? Yes. Yeah. This is it. Oh.
Oh my god,
Best sandwich
yes.
ever known before dating a trans woman. Number one, this girl is every bit of a woman, and then some. Think of her as a happy meal with the extra special toy that you haven't played with yet. Number two, you say, hey Adam, I've already got that toy to play with myself. Why would we need a second toy to play with at the same time? Did we need a second Ace Ventura Pet Detective movie?
Why is that
Need a second season? Did we really need to
mo-
clone Kanye West to make a second? Wait, that's a bad example. But the moral of the story is, good things come in twos. Number three, you ever have one of those days you want to have a little bit of fun, but your schlong and chimichanga doesn't want to show up to the big game? Well, who better to understand than a woman who has dealt with those same complications? So now when she says, oh, it's okay, babe, it looks cute, you know she's coming from a place of empathy and not pity. Number four.
Oh my
No,
god, I forgot
this
about
does
this
not
guy.
make you gay. Listen, this is a little bit different than those sleepovers you and your bros used to have when you were younger. That was a little gay. Being with a woman of any kind means every part of her is feminine. And while I can't fully explain it, that feminine energy is the hottest thing in the world. You'll figure everything else out later. Number five. This is a woman and a very powerful woman that's been through a lot to work towards a body and image that she identifies as. So if you want a conversation with sustenance and not just a conversation about the avocado toast she had earlier.
Oh man, I forgot about
Misogyny.
Women,
I love how it's
so
super
follow me for more
sexist
dating
all the
advice
way through.
with some of the most
She
beautiful
doesn't even
women in the
speak.
world.
Yeah,
She's like,
she's also like a porn performer and I think escort, and she's like, so that's not his girlfriend. Like, that's a woman he's paid to be there and be part of this fucking video.
I unironically love everything about it, including how misogynistic it is. Like, it's like, because we all know the straight trans girls out there who that is exactly what they want. They want the fantasy that a lot of women want. I don't know if they're in Vegas or some other godforsaken place. Probably, it
Yeah.
looks like it. Like, I love that he's the most normal, awful man in the world, and that she's just draped across the furniture.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
Yep, on the level with I like Ferrari. Gender essentialism gets a bad rap. Oh.
Uh, I hate Vegas. It's so hot and dry, and there's nowhere to put your eyes without everybody thinking you're a pervert. As a woman respecter.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I've sat in Our Lady of Slime. Yeah, I've sat in trans support groups listening to people daydream about this precise situation.
Oh my gosh, hi Blair, welcome. You're here for a good one.
I think both of us had some problems with the Barbie movie, but I did enjoy it despite criticisms that I had. But I is it how do you Harry Ness or what?
Hari Neff.
Neff, yeah, Hari Neff,
Yeah.
yeah. She when she says, "I just want to be
Helpful furniture or something like that.
helpful furniture," it goes really hard.
That was like an important moment in dare I say herstory. For her to be there doing that.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't have to like the Barbie movie or Hari Neff, who has said some whack shit over the years.
Has she?
Just
I didn't know that.
yeah. I don't remember specifics, but very like just whatever liberal white womaning.
Yeah. Some shit
But
about
altogether,
Israel or some shit.
oh Lord, yeah, who knows? Yeah, but in that moment,
Yeah.
she was a queen.
Yeah. I love that she was the DJ too. Just about every trans woman has said stuff she may regret. You have to have love in your heart. Yeah,
You're like Jesus, Alamede.
Was it you or Natalia on Twitter that said Char the bat like in Gundam, just the battle suddenly Char disappears and Charzette appears, but she was later canceled on Twitter for having Neo Zeon saying she had a quote Neo Zeon face.
Oh man.
Not Jesus, no. And the trolls are finally coming for me. But it's okay. Every troll who pillories and crucifies me and my good name is leaving a transgender girl alone. I would gladly die like Christ or the Virgin Mary to protect our most vulnerable. Oh.
That's amazing.
Oh.
And yeah, that's true. Even like the trans girls that have come for you, Halamede, for the T for T incest remark, like you've been very compassionate and you've said they've just lost their way.
Yeah.
But we should be compassionate toward that. So so that's beautiful.
Almir's last spring I met and for the first time hooked up with a trans guy while I was traveling in Asia. I really liked him a lot. I found him painfully hot and really enjoyed sex with him, and now I find myself thinking I'd like to meet more people like him. Does it make me a chaser or just desperate romantic lol? I'm a butch non-binary dyke, by the way. I don't think
This is a great question. I think there is also something to be said for sometimes you are down bad for someone or you develop a crush for someone, and that opens up whole new portals of types of people you're attracted to.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that doesn't necessarily mean, like, identity. It could mean all kinds of different things, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and, I'll tell you there's plenty of, trans guys you might hook up with who are not nice, um,
Yeah.
or hot, so that's no guarantee, but if you're feeling like, you know, just, more open to that possibility, I
Yeah.
don't think that's chasery, you know?
Yeah. I think that I think I mean, it depends on how you define it, but like if we want to define chaser as necessarily a bad thing, I think that the way I would define it is like it doesn't have to do with the attraction. It just has to do with like disrespecting people, uh, expecting people to perform things in a certain way based on like
Mm,
their body and not like asking for that. And that's not even like wanting, has nothing to do with wanting that. That has like the like only accepting that or prescribing that, right?
mhm. Yeah, and that reminds me of something that I, almost forgot bringing up is, like, um, there are people who are chasers in the sense of, I've identified that this is a vulnerable group of people who are gonna hold me to a lower standard than if I were to date cis people.
Yeah.
Um, or like it's not even that they're actually seeking out trans people because there's plenty of trans people who won't put up with that. But like I'm seeking people who are early in their transition and are unsure of themselves, uncomfortable in their bodies, like that's a group that I can kind of push the boundaries of. Like that's a type of person.
Yeah.
Or like that's a pattern people get into. And
What
that's related to, sorry, go ahead.
what was that tweet that went I swear I've seen it multiple times where it was like and kind of went viral every time where it was like, yeah, in order to sleep with a trans woman, it's easy. All you have to do is like ask her about Bionicle or whatever, and then she'll have sex, and you praise her once, and she'll have sex with you or whatever. And it's like that shit does like even though I'm pretty sure it was even probably a trans woman that said that, it's still like, I mean, yes, we can make fun of that, but like also let's not let's not take that seriously. Like let's not let that irony seep into sincerity because
Yeah, because yikes. It's like that Hank Green, like, Geek Girls are the number 1 untapped resource video that he
yes.
made many
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Not trying to cancel him and make his Tumblr post say that he loves the taste of balls all over again, because he's already served his time for that offense, but yeah,
Did
that idea.
did you hear that what is that Ready Player 1, in the Ready Player 1 sequel, how he talks about trans people?
No.
Um I can see if I can find a quote, but it's something like there is a trans person that is comes up in the story and he literally is like, yeah, I know about, I've watched enough porn to know about trans women or trans people.
Knowing the register that shit is written in, it makes sense. Can we also say, weird autism rep in that first movie too? The, like, creator of the world is, like, so autism coded.
Yeah, I've
Um,
read some of the book. Megan read all of it, and we talked a lot about it because I tried to read it and couldn't. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I'm sorry, gang. I just
mm,
couldn't. But yeah, he's definitely supposed to be autistic, and it almost feels like the writer is like, because it's just like, yeah, it's a very strange thing.
Oh, it's for our thank you for the correction. Hank Green is the cool bisexual one who, I think his cancer's in remission, so cheers for that. John is the painfully cringe one who likes the taste of cock. Yeah, that's my bad.
Oh,
John is the one who said that geek girls are a resource.
see, I
Thank you.
know about the two of them, and I can tell them apart, but I don't know their lore well enough to be able to remember which one is which. Yes. Okay. Actually, Halmy, God, if you just want to die, look up Ernest Cline's The Ready Player One guys, Nerd Girls. Yes, that's actually kind of what got me on it, or what made me think of it is a poem about porn. Okay, I might have to bring that up. I did want to uh uh I did want to say, though, of course, if you're a Gundam fan, it may interest you to know that the concept for the girl who eventually became me was originally Garma. That is really interesting. I am a lapsed Gundam fan. I used to really be into Gundam when I was a kid and haven't watched some very much since then. But I'm getting back into it. I'm watching G-Witch right now. But yeah, I did want to say that because that is interesting, although I don't have the total context for it. But I wanted to make sure I actually said that out loud.
Hell yeah.
I may be the only cis woman who has had an enjoyment for Lego Bionicle figures in the past, but perhaps that's not relevant right now.
The only cis woman.
The only cis woman. Oh,
Whoever liked that.
cis here in the self-deprecating sense.
Always. Always.
Yeah.
Cis is only ever a slur here.
But yeah, since it came up, I do think I need to read. I'm sorry. This is gonna be really, really bad. I can't believe I'm gonna.
Or we have to see something cursed.
We're gonna hear something cursed. Have you heard of this, Devin?
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
This doesn't
Okay.
have-
Oh man, I can't believe. Oh, it's so long. Oh my God, it's so long. This is a poem by Ernest Cline of Ready Player One, the author of Ready, and it's called.
Oh boy.
I'm also reading this from Just Neckbeard Things.
Can we get some background music or something?
Oh yeah,
This
what
poetry meeting.
do we need? Like epic music?
Yeah. Yeah, or something.
Or is it sad? Maybe it's just epic. Epic boss music. Epic royalty free music.
Wow.
Okay.
Very soothing. God bless. Thank you so much.
This is okay. What emotional? Yeah, that's what we need. Dramatic, emotional background music. Yeah.
This is great.
Nerd porn auteur. I've noticed that there doesn't seem to be any porno movies that are made for guys like me. All the porn I've come across was targeted at beer-swilling, sports bar-dwelling alpha males. Men who like their women stupid and submissive. Men who can only get it up for monosyllabic, cock-hungry nymphos with gargantuan breasts and three-word vocabulary. Adult films are populated with these collagen-injected, liposuctioned women, many of whom have resorted to surgery and self-mutilation in an attempt to look the way they have been told to look. These aren't real women, they're objects. And these movies aren't erotic, they're pathetic. These vacuum-headed fuck bunnies don't turn me on. They disgust me. And it's not that I'm against pornography. I mean, I'm a guy, and guys need porn. Fact! Like a preacher needs pain. Like a needle needs a vein. Guys need porn. But I don't want to watch this misogynist he-man woman hater porn. I want porno movies that are made with guys like me in mind. Guys who know that the sexiest thing in the world is a woman who is smarter than you are. They can have the whole cheerleading squad. I want the girl in the tweed skirt and the horn-rimmed glasses. Betty Finnerbowski, the valedictorian. Oh yes, I want her to copy her trig homework. And then I want to make mad, passionate love to her for hours and hours until she reluctantly asks if we can stop because she doesn't want to miss Battlestar Galactica, summa cum laude, baby. That's what I call erotic. I'm like
Oh
halfway
my
through.
god. Oh my god. And it's just like more nerdy girl fantasies, right? I do remember this now.
I'm not just talking about straight porn. Oh no, there should be fuck films for my nerd brethren of all sexual orientations. Gay nerd porn flicks with titles like Dungeons and Drag Queens.
Oh my god.
It doesn't matter if you think you're overweight or unattractive. It doesn't matter if you don't think you're beautiful. You are beautiful, and I will make you a star.
Oh. It's so Josh Whedon pilled. It's so bimbo-phobic. It's awful.
Lulu thinks as Dungeons and Drag Queens Dimension 20 reference. No, the fucked up thing is I think this was first. So I think technically the Dimension 20 show references this poem.
Oh my god, they owe him royalties.
Yeah. This post is from
Jesus.
6 years ago, and I'm pretty sure that show came out like last year, like this past year or something.
The thing that bothers me about this kind of stuff always is like, what are you bringing to the table? What are you giving to this woman? Why would she want to be with you? Like
a stupider, not like athletic.
Yeah. Where are you deriving any like regard in yourself in any of this? Like
that goes. I need to lie down. I'd rather be the bimbo because he won't make me fucking explain trig to him.
Trigonometry, are you 16? Yeah,
in this
it's
fantasy,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, literally, he's talking about high school and shit.
Yeah, and it's so it's unformed. I know you do like attach onto those kind of figures when you're young. That's fine, but like, damn, dude, like, what's the adult version of this fantasy? What are you bringing to the table? Like, it's I got a few questions like a couple weeks ago about weaponized incompetence and disability and stuff like that, and I have a whole article about that coming out later on. But like, this would be the kind of person who would be like not contributing much to the life of the woman that he's like supposedly putting on this pedestal. Whatever that means. It doesn't need, you don't need to be strong, you don't need to be rich, but you need to like have your own life or like interests. I don't know, something.
Yeah, this man definitely fails that test that TikTok that went viral a while ago and just came back up. It was like, tell me one hobby that you have that isn't media consumption. Did you see that? She was talking about a different kind of person, but I think about that a lot.
Yeah, this is Funko Pop brained to the max. No offense if my sister's here.
Oh.
So many women are objects. And that fucking thing too, the like, I'm not a sexist. I hate these bimbo object fuck toy idiots.
He says they aren't real women. They're objects, which is like, that's you doing that. You're the one that's objectifying them. Like,
it's awful.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we need to I'm very excited to get into this game. So we need to we need to finish out this last piece of business before we can play this game, and that's a really oh, thank you.
Hydration, thank you.
That is a extremely hefty Grimes report.
Ooh, oh man. Oh my god, you guys. Oh, this is a huge one. And I'm sorry again, Hallamid, that you have to see this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you've posted about Grimes before, Hallamid? Oh my god.
No, you got to tell us the Grimes takes. I missed that. We are Devin is a longtime Grimes stan who watched this whole thing envelop, and and this is the mostly I have tuned my Twitter fucking algorithm, so now I always see this shit.
Oh, I
But
think I found it. I found Halamid's take.
were you pulling it up, or are you just gonna read it?
Yeah, I just did the share screen. Despite hating space exploration, I have a lot of empathy for Elon Musk. I can relate. He had the most beautiful transgender girlfriend, and then she left him for some traitor to
That's right. That's right. Oh.
and my friend Cosima is in the replies like, "I think you're a little confused, dog." And Halamid's like,
I
"No."
know. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Very.
Halamid, you
I love Jewish Ethel Kane, which is a very strong username. Very iconic of crimes to give birth while transgender.
Oh my god, Halamid,
Uh,
and you don't even know, Halamid, I've written transgender Grimes fan fiction before. Uh,
you need to like put
nobody's
that in the chat. You need to. We need to like read this. Oh, because we
it's
need to
too
do.
dramatic.
It's so good. It's genuinely good.
It's not funny. It's
It's
serious. It
not
comes from my
funny.
heart.
It's
It's like
not.
table. Oh, people are asking for a table read. I'm like, Kick Me Body said, "Can we talk about that?" I'll give you all the link. I need to migrate it from Medium over to Substack.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
How long would it be to read? I don't think we have time. Could we read this next time? Because it's like I
I
think it
want to
would take a
die.
minute.
It's an.
it's it's
I'm not
legitimately really
ashamed of my.
good.
It's about 10 minutes read according to Medium. Here's the link. Nobody start any shit in the chat right now about it because it's because it's dead serious. Like this is like serious as sin to me. Um, I believe it's true. I think I can still save her. I hope she doesn't sue me. All resemblance to real people is intentional. All of these things.
If she was in fucking Britain, your ass would be grass.
I would be fucking toast. I would be, yeah.
Does it use her name? I think it used. Didn't you change the names?
There's no names. There's
Right.
no
There's just
names,
no
and
names.
yeah, but like aside from a few things that could be Mackenzie Scott, it's really Mackenzie Scott and Grimes in a way. Jeff Bezos' ex. It's kind of imagining if Grimes had pulled a Mackenzie Scott and started donating all of the money after getting divorced and like eschewing any relationship to the person. So Mackenzie, don't sue me either, but I feel like you're an ally, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. Oh man. So
But
yeah. Well,
oh,
let's dive into the current real world Drime Grimes drama, the Drimes, because holy moly,
it's so much.
it's so much. So I think the first thing is that all started this is Elon Musk has a uh biography out. I think it's
Mhm.
just called Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, and it's by oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the guy's name, but yeah, that just came out and that has a lot of and the biographer worked really closely with Elon Musk. That's an important thing to remember here. All these fucked up details are things he signed off on.
Yeah,
Um,
including that
he interviewed
there
Grimes, all these people.
including that the Grimes stuff aside, the big reveal was that he personally turned off internet access at key places in along the like Ukraine Russian front line. So they were like going because this was a thing that was reported recently by somebody else, and then it's just like that
Mhm.
tweet. He I worked for 6 months on this story, and he just tweeted it out. Like I worked for 3 years on this story, and he just put it in his book. Um, but like
Mhm.
it confirmed that stuff and even kind of went farther where he literally said that he gave the direct order to do it and it was on purpose because like he talked to fucking Putin and all that shit. But that's even aside from what we're going to talk about.
Right, because this is the Grimes report, not the Elon report, even though Elon did do war crimes, and that's objectively a bigger story.
But not the
But
one we care about here.
we're talking about my queen Blorbo, who I'm gonna save. So
Grimes
yes, it's
crime.
Walter.
Crimes on Grimes.
Yes. And thank you, Male Valence. It's Walter Isaacson is the biographer. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So this was a reply to a Walter Isaacson tweet. He's just been posting lots of snippets of the book have been coming out about Grimes, about Shivon Zillis, who was the head of Neuralink, and we now know also gave birth to twins around the exact same time that that Grimes was giving birth to their firstborn X, and their other subsequent two kids. One of them's new to us as the public. Their subsequent two kids were with Grimes were through surrogate. So that's just one of the things we learned this week is that Grimes and Elon Musk have three children. The youngest one's name is Techno Maximus or something like that.
Technomechanicus, and
Technomechanicus.
do you know where that's from? And what
It's a remind me. It's a
it
reference
is
to
a
some nerd shit.
it's a fucking Warhammer 40K race. The Tau. Is it exact? I think it's the exact. If it's because Tau is definitely the name of it, and I think Tau in Warhammer is short for uh uh. Yeah, maybe I don't know if Techno Mechanicus is just what they because the thing about Warhammer 40K is it's the fascist universe. It's the universe where only like we accidentally opened a portal to the chaos realm and so only fascists can exist because everything is so hellish that that's the only thing that can exist. And so it's they're like machines. So I don't know the specifics of it, but yeah, like
Yeah, as usual, Elon misses the point or thinks the coolest thing about a work of art is like the fascist imagery and the shit like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Uh,
which is there's a whole other thing about him, learning that or learning to be cold-blooded from Polytopia, which is apparently a baby game for babies. But that's a whole other. We could go on and on, but
we really could.
but here was the first big bombshell that happened in the past week, and then I'll rewind because there's a little bit of prior context. But as Walter Isaacson is posting about the book and about Elon's twins that he has with Shivon Zillis, Grimes pops in with this tweet that handle right there, Fade H. That's actually her alt. This has been known for a really long time. She has a private alt that's Fade H on Twitter, where she follows a lot of like weird fascist people and lots of like we hunted the mammoth,
Return.
rationalist Aurelius kind of shit like that. Beef jerky boys. So we've known
Excuse
about
me,
all that for
raw meat. Raw meat. They're past beef jerky.
that's true. People that live off of just sunlight, that kind of shit, and worry about white extermination and all that stuff. And Grimes tweeted, "Tell Shivon to unblock me and tell Elon to let me see my son, or please respond to my lawyer. I have never even been allowed to see a photo of these children until this moment, despite this situation utterly ripping my family apart." So what she is saying here, and she had tweeted a few days prior, people were like asking her about new music and a couple of other things, and she said she was having the worst day of her life, and that her like life was falling apart. Um, so what she's talking about here is Shivon's twins with Elon, that she had never seen these kids who would be her kids' half siblings or whatever. And she did not know that Elon was having two babies with another woman who was his employee at the time, while she was in the middle of giving birth to his son, and they were still together. This was before any of their breakup, makeup kind of stuff, really. Um, Aside for the one related to Azalea Banks, but let's just not even get into that. We've covered that before.
It's really good. Go. Oh, I wish I knew our streams better. Go figure out which VOD that is.
Yeah, there's a Grimes one, a Grimes specific one with all the deep lore. But we'll spare you all that info dump right now. But they were together, and he was. I mean, it was through IVF. We can all have our own opinions about many different ways to make families and have non-monogamous arrangements with people. But I think if somebody who you've already said convinced you and kind of pressured you to have a kid that you're in a relationship with, you find out he got one of his employees pregnant at the same, and they're giving birth at the same time, and you didn't know about it at all. Yeah, I would be upset. I think I
Yeah.
would be hurt.
Yeah.
So, their relationship kind of exploded around that time when Grimes finally did find out sometime later.
Oh, so this was the what the this is why they blew up initially, is because she found out about this.
Yes, that was one of the
Oh,
reasons that they broke up. And
wow.
that's
Okay.
probably when the started dating Chelsea Manning, etc. kind of phase, that time in the timeline. But they've been on again, off again. And now we're finding out a big part of probably why that this entire time Elon has X, has their oldest son. And he does parade X around at a lot of Tesla and various other events and travels with him. They've been seen together, and he brings the baby with him to the office a lot. Um, Apparently, Grimes does not have any control over when she gets to see her eldest son, and this has been kind of a legal battle. We don't have any access to any court documents attesting to this, but has been a thing going on for a while.
Yeah. So
Um,
some people were saying, Artistic Bum says, have we talked about how Elon's baby mamas and spreading his seed god complex is very much giving cult? Uh, the IR girl, yeah. I was just wondering if she follows any of those seed spreader accounts. And yes, I don't know about Grimes, but I know specifically Elon Musk is very much like, that's when, if you ever hear him talk about the mission, that is basically a white supremacist, eugenicist, like rich people, like, white supremacists, like people like Elon Musk have better genetics because they're, better, and that's evidenced by the fact that they have more money, which are all
mhm.
flawed assumptions. And then so people like that need to be spreading their seed and populating the earth more because, of what is the whole, he's talked a lot about his fears about population collapse, which is really just, not
White genocide bullshit,
right. So this is,
and that
yes,
there's not enough smart people reproducing. Yeah.
right, which is all just white supremacy. So yes, it is cult. It is absolutely that. And from everything she said, she agrees with all that shit. Because we were talking about that last time when we were talking about, because there was the famous tweet about, he said pronouns are dumb or something, and she was like, you don't like, this isn't you, give me a doll. And
Hmm.
and then in an interview recently, she was like, well, actually, he explained to me it was just because of fertility issues, and transing your gender makes you infertile, and he's just worried about population collapse. What he's worried about is trans men no longer being white trans men no longer being able to give birth is basically what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And so she's bought into a lot of that. ideology as well, and she has tweeted a lot of things about like, oh, motherhood changed my life, everybody needs to, she will say things like about, acknowledging like, oh, not everybody wants to have kids and that's their choice, but like it is very like, this is one of the sources of meaning. It's not as extreme as Elon, but she's certainly been very influenced in that direction and has bought into that ideology and surrounds herself with people with that ideology.
Yeah, she talks about
um
wokeness and stuff these days, and yeah, it's all that.
yeah. Yeah. And we've shit on her a lot for a lot of this stuff. I think within the context of some of the new things we're learning, and again, this is one of my Blorbos, so you don't have to be as gentle with on her as I am. I think we have enough reason to kind of see a pattern of like control and isolation and things like that. We'll get into, and so I think that does temper things a little bit. That doesn't mean believing any of these things is remotely okay, but I think that is a context for a lot of what's happening to a lot of the women in his life, and we'll talk about some of those other women
Yeah.
soon
Talk
too.
about a power imbalance. Like, there isn't a bigger
Yeah,
one on
yeah,
Earth, maybe.
yeah, they were never married. Like she has financed all of her own stuff, except for him owning part of the house that she lives in, which is both a benefit and a trap.
Yeah.
And she, is now saying that she doesn't have access to her son. So we've seen them. They unfollow and block each other back and forth all the time, like teenagers. But then she'll be seen in public with Elon and X at events. So they were at a wedding in Europe a couple of weeks ago, and then they were in Japan. Um, in Japan, Grimes did a live stream, a DJ set, and there were some videos. This was like 2 weeks ago. Some videos of Elon live streaming her clanging pretty badly, which is like when you do a really bad like blend DJing, and he was like laughing at her and like kind of like humiliating her.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, um, just really like transparently kind of cruel shit. And this is when she tweeted this stuff that I have up around this time. Well, I've said this many times, but had one of the single most traumatic events of my life this week. Definitely reconsidering everything about my life. I'm still trying to breathe and move out of shock, but I think I'm done with Grimes for a bit. A lot has been going on in my life for the last few years that I have mostly kept from the public. I may still do that out of respect for others, but the last few days really taught me that without fundamental change, I'm going to die from stress and my kids won't be okay. Um, Maybe this is TMI, but I'm just totally incapable of continuing to pretend that the situation has been remotely okay, or that I'm not on my last legs and beyond mentally totally destroyed by what's going on in my personal life. It's deeply affected my work, obviously. And then talking about video release. So this was a little bit before the "Let me see my son" tweet. So at the time,
God, that's so
we
fucked.
didn't, yeah, we didn't know what this was referencing. Though freaks like me had theories. And then after that was when she revealed that she had not been able to see her son and that she's never met like Siobhan or their kids, or has been like included in any of that at all. Um, yeah. And to answer your question in the chat, Lulu, this is all before the debate, which was like last night or yesterday.
Yeah, that's nuts. There was a fucking debate about what was it? What was the fucking has
Was the sexual revolution a mistake? And Grimes was pro sexual revolution, and they won. But so this happens, and then these are all deleted almost immediately. The tweet to Walter Isaacson about seeing her son is deleted almost immediately, and then both Grimes and Siobhan tweeted a apology to one another that is a little sussy, a little PR. Let
Yeah.
me pull that up on the subreddit.
Yeah, that tweet did not feel genuine.
No, both of them look really like let's see. Just been so much posted in the last couple of days that let's see here. Is this the one?
Oh, it looks like that's from Siobhan.
Yeah. Um they both tweeted like at the same time.
Yeah,
Uh
right.
which also suggests something sussy is going on there. quick because I know there's an article about it.
Yeah, even if she is becoming self-aware, the existence of the kids and his endless money for custody lawyers must make it feel impossible.
Hmm. And I really do hate how this is being reported on. Her like apologizing for having tweeted something that, if it's
Yeah.
true, why would you apologize for that? Um, okay, here it is. Let me open it up in the sharing. Oh wait, this is wait, am I sharing it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, I would prefer to not breathe any more life into this current press cycle, but I wanted to de-escalate the narrative at the moment. Spoke with Siobhan at length finally, which was long overdue. This wasn't her fault. Please don't be angry at her. We respect each other a lot and we're excited to become friends and have the kids grow up together. I truly apologize for responding to Walter, the biographer, like that. As you can imagine, that was a very gut level reaction to a thing that has been very hard for me. Communication about the twins wasn't handled super well in the past, but now I totally understand what happened and totally forgive the situation. Women are so often pitted against each other. Speaking with Siobhan, it's very evident she's an amazing human and we both want what's best for our kids. I wish I could show you how cute little Techno is. Um, Basically, around this time, it was revealed they have a third kid, so that's kind of distracting from the whole issue in a big way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
my
was
priority
confused
now is
because I thought I got I was like, wait, is the twins? She was because she was talking about not being able to see the twins and not also being able to see her son. So I was getting confused. Like, wait, did they have twins? And that's the twins she was talking about. But yeah,
I think my read on it is that like information about the third kid, Techno, was like leaked to just make it more confusing what kid she was talking about.
mm,
Um, or to just like further embarrass her and punish her because she didn't want any of those kids to be in the public eye. She has no, she's been really, she's, always censored X out of any post that she made, but then Elon would take X out in public and post pictures of him. She said
yeah.
she wanted to raise her kids gender neutral. And the first thing Elon did the day that baby was born was tweet, "It's a boy." Um, he also, we found out from the Isaacson book that he tweeted pictures of Grimes mid C-section to her family without her consent. Um,
Jesus
and she was
Christ.
really upset about that, though now she just talks about it as him being Asperger's and not understanding why
Oh.
she would be upset about that. And also, there's just little details throughout that are barely not even explored about how it wasn't until like a year into having kids that like they took a trip together to have Grimes's parents, her mom and stepdad, meet the baby. So, it's suggesting a little isolation because we know the mom doesn't like Elon Musk. She's tweeted very publicly about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I can show the Siobhan reply to.
Oh yeah. Right now we're seeing the entertainment
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me
tab.
open up
Oh
the
no, you're good.
Siobhan tweet. And so this is a reply from Siobhan to that main tweet. Here's the full Grimes tweet. At the end of the day, it all ended for the best. Thank you for taking the time to really connect and understand each other. So glad we had such a wonderful talk. Was insanely overdue. You're a total badass, and I respect you very much. Can't wait for kiddo playdate, and congrats on baby Tao. And
Yeah.
since then, Siobhan has been tweeting a lot of pictures of herself and Elon and the twins together, which really feels like, again, I'm not trying to blame any of the women involved here, but it feels like Elon Musk rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah. And especially with all of these like references to NDAs that she can't talk about, powerful people that she has in her life, like it feels like it definitely feels like yeah, this is a situation that is being kind of puppeted by Elon. It feels like. And, I think that's whether you forgive um Grimes for having some really reprehensible views, um, you know, is I don't think you need to forgive her, but it certainly seems like this is a pretty controlled and abusive situation.
Mhm. Yeah, and the broader context is like, um, she moved out from LA and, like, all of her, like, friends, like, Hannah, who's, you know, a DJ, Twitch streamer, Blood Pop's fiance, you know, moved away from all of them to like remote Texas in this house, you know. Um, just all of this weird language about like the mission and like, oh, I'm Lady Jessica from Dune, and he's, you know, I'm his concubine or whatever. Like it's like this really fucked up ideology that he's clearly like. And how did he convince one of his employees to have kids with him? Like this guy is like asserting so much power and influence, and is surrounded by all of these sycophants, and people that are like buying into it. Uh, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Um. Sorry, cybernetic cirrhosis. Or yes, we have not yet gotten to heaven will be mine yet. We are getting there. I apologize.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be starting that up soon. But yeah, so, we're definitely variety streamers who get a little chaotic with it. Sorry for the heaviness.
um.
Um,
Yeah, but it's it's yeah, it's at least interesting to know more about this situation, and it um makes a lot it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of things make a
mhm.
lot of sense.
Yeah, and it's fucked up that this is like the info that's coming out largely through like an endorsed biography. Like, uh, the other big thing that came out this week was the public has already known this, but most like regular people who are not freaks like me didn't know this. But Amber Heard, who dated Elon Musk shortly after she left Johnny Depp, and right before Elon got with Grimes, her baby is also Elon Musk's baby. Um,
Oh God, I didn't know that I didn't hear that. I didn't realize that was a thing.
for a long time, people only speculated that because Elon Musk, for those of you who have followed the Depp and Heard legal battles or whatever you want to call it, when they got divorced, Amber Heard couldn't make the donation to like the women's an abuse victims charity that she had like pledged or whatever. And Elon Musk ended up actually paying that. And they weren't dating anymore. And he was going to testify on Heard's behalf in the trial that happened last year. He ended up not being called as a witness, but he's provided kind of financial support throughout this whole thing, because Amber Heard does not have the money to pay Johnny Depp millions for having, you know, defamed him,
Right.
quote unquote. So he's been really like in the background here and has been tied to her for a long time. But it did come out earlier this year, or like was confirmed that her baby is with Elon Musk, um, and some of that has also been stuff that Elon's been bragging about, since they kind of more details about that relationship came out in the biography. Grimes even characterizes Amber Heard as like crazy. She says that Amber Heard is chaotic evil and she's chaotic good. Uh,
Grimes. Oh my God.
when the misogyny be hitting.
She never wants to pit women against each other. That's not what.
No, and then Elon was bragging about a time that he got Amber Heard to dress up as Mercy from Overwatch for him.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Which
was she looks so upset.
she looks so sad, and it's clearly like a very like just a private photo, and like she just looks so annoyed with him. And he posted the picture, of course. Um,
For quote awesome role play. Uh
and as somebody said in the Discord for our streams, like this really points to his pattern of like dating very like vulnerable women. Like she would have just gotten out of an abusive relationship, um, just gotten out of it, and then becomes financially dependent upon him.